whatever. Ah! Alright. Oh, shit. Move my computer. Alright. So, I don't know much about this. I do know that this is, in fact, a famous work of art. And it doesn't have flies. It's a clean urinal, you idiot. And yes, the point of this piece was to shock. I believe the artist was... Fuck. It was some Frenchman. I don't remember the name, but basically what he did was that he wanted to push the boundaries of what museums consider to be art. And that's what art has always been about. It's been about pushing the limits. It's about expressing beauty and also pushing the limits. That's what Banksy does. That's what this painting was. Banksy sold this painting. Well, it was in an auction, and as soon as it got sold, it was shredded. Basically, because he didn't like that his work, that always had a political commentary, was now being sold as massive pieces of art that were worth millions, and they would go in some idiot's private collection. Also, Jay-Z, as we all know, grand comrade Jay-Z. Shut the fuck up. This guy probably doesn't even like rock and roll music from like the 50s and 60s. This fucking guy. He probably thinks it's the devil's music. Oh, fuck you, Dennis Prager.
Why so much contemporary art is meaningless and involves the scatological, meaning urine and feces. Yes, urine and feces. To give one of countless examples, in 2016, the Guggenheim Museum in New York featured a pure gold working toilet, which visitors were invited to use. The name of the exhibit was America, so one could literally relieve oneself on America.
Okay. Basically, you're saying that the left uses like all these depraved tactics, and then you just go for, oh, the left, they use poop and urine. They use pee-pee and poo-poo. Look at this exhibit. It was pee-pee and poo-poo. Just stop. Just stop. Oh my God. Piss off, CNN. I don't care about this. God. If I can't get through this fucking video, how am I gonna get through? PragerU!
3. Literature.
That was... There's no points. You're not making any points. You have no reasons.
The English department at the University of Pennsylvania replaced the portrait of the greatest English language writer who ever lived, William Shakespeare, with a picture of a black lesbian poet. Why? Because he was a white European male. Leftist professors have replaced the pursuit of excellence with the pursuit of diversity.
What? No. They're still teaching about Shakespeare. It's just that, there are so many other writers that have made great works of art, great pieces of literature, than one of my favorite writers, Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde is an amazing man. Oscar Wilde basically wrote things about Victorian England, satirizing the culture of Victorian England, and also wrote The Picture of Dorian Gray, one of my favorite works, one of my favorite novels. The thing is that he was gay. I still like him, and I know a lot of people who do like him. He's just a great guy, and he has great insight. Okay? Listen, Shakespeare has some great plays. I know that. But there are other people who did so much better work. I'm not saying that his stuff isn't good. I like Hamlet. I like Othello. I like Midsummer. I like Twelfth Night. I like Taming of the Shrew. I like a lot of his stuff. The histories, they're alright. Not my favorite, but it's also not my history, so I guess that's probably why I don't like it as much. But, I just don't, alright, it's one, and also, he's not saying that, okay, there was a national decree that said that every picture of William Shakespeare must be taken down and replaced No, it's just this one department felt that they should represent this one woman over William Shakespeare.
4.
Oh.
Late night television.
Oh, what?
In America, late night television shows were completely apolitical.
No, they weren't.
The hosts believed their role was to entertain viewers and offer them relief and laughter after a difficult day.
No. I mean, listen, there is nothing in this world that is apolitical. Everything in this world has some air of political meaning. You might not see it on the surface, but there are some things that just have political meaning and you don't know it. So this is one of them. You're just wrong. Late night TV did have a political air to it. You know, everything has political views. Everybody has their own bias. There's nothing completely neutral. Not even Switzerland. Switzerland's not even neutral. Fucking Nazi gold hiding bastards. Oh no, I'm gonna get demonetized for my 25 subscribers. Also, thanks by the way, guys, for 25 subscribers. I never thought I'd get to 20. I genuinely thought that I would only have 0 subscribers and I'd just be ranting into an empty echo chamber. Let me see. Is anybody on stream? No, nobody's on stream. What the fuck? What is this? What? But I'm not off stream. What the fuck? How long have you been going for 6 minutes? It feels like longer.
No longer. You cannot watch late night television if you just want to be entertained. Late night TV is now left night TV.
Oh, left wing destroyed.
5.
Oh my god, you don't even give a fucking example. You're not like, well, this, there was this piece that Jimmy Kimmel did, and I didn't like it because it didn't conform with what I believe. He said that God didn't exist, and I wanted to punch him in the penis because God does exist, and God is a man. So screw you. Anyway, Jesus Christ, fucking idiot.
Religion. The left has ruined much of mainstream Protestantism and Catholicism and non-Orthodox Judaism, which are now little more than left-wing organizations with religious.
Ha ha! Thinking the Democrats are left wing. Ha 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 ha! That's so cute. That's adorable, Dennis. God, you're so cute. You're so cute in your stupidity. Your little marble brain. It's adorable. It's so cute. So adorable. No, but seriously, this is just so dumb. But great. But yeah, nobody cares about religion. I mean, I don't.
In many churches and synagogues, one is more likely to hear the clergy talk about political issues than about any other subject.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Guns, global warming, and greed. Ooh. I mean, greed is talked about in the Bible. And how it's bad. Are you saying greed is good? That means you're a sinner. It means you're going to HE double hockey stick hell, you fucking asshole.
Including even the Bible. 6. Free speech.
That's not a point.
If there was anything virtually every American considered a bedrock value, it was freedom of speech. Yet the left is destroying even this unique American achievement. Almost half of America's young people say they believe in free speech, but not for hate speech. Yet the whole point of free speech is that it allows people to express any political or social position, including what any one of us considers hate speech.
Okay, I'm going to go over this again, because I said it once before. There is a paradox of not tolerating intolerance. People say that you should tolerate every idea. But there's a certain point that you cannot tolerate a certain ideology. You cannot tolerate fascist ideology because fascism seeks to destroy the democratic ideals. And once a fascist dictatorship takes power, freedom of speech becomes limited. Right now, we can still criticize the government, but if that went away, we could not criticize the government. I would not have this channel. I would be in a concentration camp, probably. Sorry, fun time daycare camp. Like the ones on the southern border. They're fun time daycare camps.
Hate speech now means any position the left differs with.
No, actually, hate speech is just. I mean, hate speech doesn't exist. It doesn't. It's just speech. Basically, it's just things that you're saying that are just. Basically, you're just being racist and homophobic, transphobic, sexist. It's not hate speech. It's just you being an idiot.
7. Race.
These aren't points.
America has become the least racist, multiracial society in world history. On a daily basis, Americans of every race and ethnicity get along superbly. But the left constantly poisons young minds with angry diatribes about systemic racism, microaggressions, and white privilege.
Yes, because as we all know, systemic racism doesn't exist. Ignore the fact that cops are more likely to arrest a black man with weed that if they have an ounce of weed, but if a white guy has an ounce of weed, he gets a little slap on the wrist, but the black guy gets life. Forget that. Forget the fact that there are studies out there that basically say that if you have a black name on an application, jobs will not consider you. They're least likely to consider you. Forget about it. Microaggressions, forget about those too. White privilege, forget about those. We are a prosperous nation that has no faults about racism. Our president doesn't say that Mexicans are rapists. We are a whole nation. Racism doesn't exist. The left made up racism. Racism is just dumb. Racism was actually founded by Karl Marx in 1848. It's in the Communist Manifesto. It says, hey, yo, did you know people are racist? That's what it says in the Communist Manifesto. I know, I've read it so many times that I can repeat it verbatim. Like, seriously. This video makes me want to cry. How am I going to get through? I want to get through a few of these videos. How the fuck am I going to get through a few of these videos? Also, it's really 13? Huh. That's weird. 13 minutes. Feels like it's been longer because this video is so fucking... God. God. I cannot. Okay, I think YouTube messed up on my thing somewhat. Thanks, YouTube.
8. The Boy Scouts.
This isn't a point. Nobody cares about the Boy
Left
Scouts.
is destroying the Boy Scouts. They're not even the Boy Scouts anymore. They're just the Scouts. The left forced them to admit girls.
Actually, the Boy Scouts have been admitting girls for years. For decades, actually. It's only recently that they've just decided that they were just going to drop the whole thing and just be like, all right, we're the Scouts. So... fuck you.
The thing about the left, it only destroys. It doesn't build. The Boy Scouts have helped shape tens of millions of boys into independent, strong, good men. So where's the left-wing version of the Boy Scouts? Doesn't exist.
It does. It doesn't. Left wing doesn't need the Boy Scouts. You don't. What do you want? Do you want it, Dennis Prager? Do you want the Prager Youth? Is that what you want? The Prager Juden? Is that what you want? You want your own Hitler Youth? Is that what you want, PragerU? Is that what?
There is none. 9. Male, female.
These aren't points.
In some ways, scariest of all, the left is committed to ending male and female as distinct categories. Children are increasingly...
Gender is only a social construct. Gender is only a social construct. Gender... Who the fuck is saying that out there? Gender is only a social construct. I'm saying it. It's been proven. Like, there are scientific studies out there that say that gender is just a social construct. Nothing more, nothing less. All right? So, stop.
Not to think of themselves as a boy or a girl. Teachers are told not to refer to their students as boys or girls, just students. In New York City...
I mean, why not? Why do you want to force people? Like, what? Oh, because you want your perfect 1950s thing to jack off to. But no, God forbid, you just let people be independent and have freedom of choice.
Parents do not have to check off male or female on their newborn's birth certificate. They can check off X.
Okay, what is the problem with that? I mean, it'd be very difficult to change. You know, you never know what your child's going to do. You know, X is just like, they could be male, they could be female in the future. Whatever. It's called progress, Dennis Prager.
This imposed gender confusion can only end up producing confused people and a confused society.
No, it doesn't. Nobody is confused by gender. Nobody is confused by it. If a person goes from man to female, then they refer to themselves as a female. It's not very confusing. It's pretty straightforward, Dennis Prager. It's just confusing to you because you have a tiny pea brain. It rattles around in your head, and it sometimes gets stuck on a thought. But then you realize, oh, I can't be there for too long. Let me knock it back out.
So why does the left engage in so much destruction? Because it thinks America is essentially a bad country.
I mean, it's not the greatest country in the world. It could use some improvements, like a lot.
But America is only bad compared to utopia. And the left is utopian. I'm Dennis.
Oh my God, he just admitted. The left is a utopia. Guys, switch to the left. It's a utopia. Just do it.
Prager. Thank you for watching this video to help.
Alright, nobody gives a shit about your stupid fucking... Fuck off. Okay. Oh yeah, it definitely... Why did it go? What the fuck? That is weird. Hold on, did it? Sorry guys, I just want to see something if... What did it do? This isn't upcoming. Oh wait, this isn't... This isn't upcoming. Why is it? But this is the live stream. Okay, I have to go through and just figure this out. I don't know why it's split. I genuinely don't know why it split this up into 2 separate videos. But it did. We're gonna roll with it. Oh shit, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Go back. Wait, did it just say, am I offline? Oh no. Alright, I'm back. Okay, cool. Let's move on. All right, I have watched that. Now we're going to watch this. The Inconvenient Truth About the Democratic Party. Just hit pause, you idiot. Oh, I've seen this commercial.
Racist, offensive, intolerant. Those are just a few of the words.
Nobody cares about what you'd say.
When you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party comes to mind? The Republicans or the Democrats? Most people would probably say the Democrats, but this answer is incorrect. Since its founding in 1829, the Democrat...
You know what's sad? For this whole thing, this person has to go back to 1829 when the thing was... I'm sorry, if you didn't figure it out, we're in 2019. Yes, the Democratic Party was racist. It was, keyword was, just like the Republicans were the champions of civil rights.
Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the civil rights acts of the 1950s and 1960s.
Okay, here's your nice characterization of the Democrats, also with the Klan guy in there too. All right, so defended slavery. Yes, they did that. Again, you had Southern Democrats and Northern Democrats. So all Democrats started the Civil War? No, Southern Democrats did. Southern Democrats opposed Reconstruction. Southern Democrats founded the Ku Klux Klan. Southern Democrats. You get where I'm coming from? Southern Democrats were doing a lot of these things. Southern Democrats, you know, the places where these things started. Southern Democrats. Not every single person in a party is the same.
In contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission was to stop the spread of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely. Mm-hmm. This effort, however, was dealt a major blow by the Supreme Court in the 1857 case Dred Scott versus Sandford. The court ruled that slaves aren't citizens, they're property. The 7 justices who voted in favor of slavery, all Democrats. The 2 justices who dissented, both Republicans.
Yes, again, 1857. Democrats were racist. We get it, all right? Jesus. You're fishing for historical context about a modern-day party. The inconvenient truth about the Democratic Party. That makes you sound like you're talking about the current-day Democratic Party. You're talking about the past. Democrats have changed from their racist ways.
The slavery question was, of course, ultimately resolved by a bloody civil war. The commander-in-chief during that war was the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves. 6 days after the Confederate Army surrendered, John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat, assassinated President Lincoln.
Was he actually a Democrat? He was not a Democrat. He actually, he might have been, but I believe he was actually more of a Confederate sympathizer than a Democrat. I think if you asked him, hey, are you a Republican or a Democrat? He would say Democrat, but he would also say, but I support the Confederacy. He assassinated Lincoln because he wanted to deal a final blow to the Union.
Lincoln's vice president, a Democrat named Andrew Johnson, assumed the presidency. But Johnson adamantly opposed Lincoln's plan to integrate the newly freed slaves into the South's economic and social order.
Yeah.
Johnson and the Democratic Party were unified in their opposition to the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, the 14th Amendment, which gave blacks citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, which gave blacks the vote. All three passed only because of universal Republican support. During the era of Reconstruction,
You're fishing for history. Again, if you have to go back to say that a modern party is racist, you have to go back in time, then your argument is just something was. Yes, we used to ride horses everywhere, but we don't do that now. Women didn't have the right to vote 100 years ago. Actually, the 120 years ago, we'll say. Because we're past the 100-year mark of women getting the right to vote. Which is actually kind of sad that it's only been 100 years that women have been able to vote. That's really sad, considering the fact that we've been a country for over 200 years. And only 100 have women been able to vote? That's very tragic.
federal troops stationed in the South helped secure rights for the newly freed slaves. Hundreds of black men were elected to Southern state legislatures as Republicans, and 22 black Republicans served in the U.S. Congress by 1900.
Oh, wow, by 1900. I'm sorry, hold on, let me check the... Let me just quickly... I'm sorry, let me check the year real quick. Let me just check... Oh my god. What is this? What is this? Discussion with a what now? That email was put... Oh, that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's 2019. It's not 1900. Hold on, I want to see how many... There we go. How many black Republicans are in office? No, I don't want past. I want to know current ones. Well, right now I'm seeing a bunch of ending 44. Oh, here we go. This guy got out in 2016 though. Early Martin G. Barnes. From when to when? When was he the mayor of Patterson? Oh, okay. Okay. I think I've actually heard of this guy. I live not too far from Patterson, New Jersey, actually, so I think I've heard of that guy. So I'm trying to find current... What? Do they not know when this man died? Oh no, he's still alive. Oh, the poor man. I feel so sorry for him. 1565. Oh, Herman Cain is still around. No, I want current ones. Is this gonna give me like current ones? This is gonna be all... Here we go. 1971 to present. Let's scroll down past the 70s and 80s. When is it? Also, hold on. Let's just go through this. Okay, so the first generation. Look, Republican, 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 all the way up until 1887. Republican. Look at all those red. Then you got Republican, 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 Republican. This guy's not black. This guy doesn't look black. Huh? Struggle for civil rights. No. You look. Republican, Republican, Republican. Third generation. Republican. Democrat. Look at this. Around the time of the New Deal, they're starting to form a coalition. This is part of that coalition that FDR made. So look, starting to see a lot more Democrats in office. Starting to see a lot more of them. A lot more Democrats. And this is past the Southern strategy right now. This is past the party switch. So let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, he's not in office currently, so he's not. Yes, Maxine Waters, still there. God, she was elected in Wait. Yeah, she was elected in 1991? Jeez, she's been around a long time. Oh, hold on, JC Watts. He was only until 2008 away. Huh. Seeing a lot of blue. Oh, Tim Scott, Alan West. They're not there anymore. Here we go. Will Hurd. He's still there. My love. Well, she got out. So I see one. Yeah, my two girls, Ilhan Omar and Anaya Presley. I love those women. But look at the amount of blue for Democrats. Like, yes, 1900, you had 22 black Republicans, but now it's 2019, you have one. One. How long have I been going? I think I'm gonna just end after this video because I genuinely do not. It's so painful to watch them be so dumb.
The Democrats did not elect a black man to Congress until 1935. But after Reconstruction ended, when the federal troops went home, Democrats roared back into power in the South. They quickly reestablished white supremacy across the region with measures like black codes, laws that restricted the ability of blacks to own property and run businesses.
Yes, what the Democrats did back then was wrong. But then they changed, just like the Republicans. The parties switched.
Imposed poll taxes and literacy tests used to subvert black citizens' right to vote. And how was all of this enforced? By terror, much of it instigated by the Ku Klux Klan, founded by a Democrat, Nathan Bedford Forrest.
He was also a Confederate leader. I don't know if you remember that. And it was to... The reason that the Ku Klux Klan was founded was because they wanted to signify, basically them in white signifies the ghosts of the Confederate past.
As historian Eric Foner, himself a Democrat, notes, in effect, the Klan was a military force serving the interests of the Democratic Party.
Keyword was a military force serving the interests of the Democratic Party. Past tense, not is. In effect, the Klan is a military force serving the interest. Yeah, it's not currently doing that. If you ask any Klansman what they would want, they're a Republican.
President Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat, shared many views with the Klan. He resegregated many federal agencies and even screened the first movie ever played at the White House, the racist film The Birth of a Nation, originally entitled The Klansman.
Yeah. I don't know any Democrats who really, love Woodrow Wilson. Because I don't. I think he's a fraud. He's a dipshit. And he should have never won office. Teddy Roosevelt should have won. Stupid assassin.
A few decades later, the only serious congressional opposition to the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 came from Democrats. 80% of Republicans in Congress supported the bill. Less than 70% of Democrats did.
Okay, you're breaking it down into two factions, but you forget something. There's Northern and Southern Democrats as well as Northern and Southern Republicans. Most, if not all, Northern Democrats supported this. Most, if not all, Northern Republicans supported this. A lot of Southern Democrats and a lot, it was Southern Democrats supported it and Southern Republicans supported it the least, I think, or the other way around. Basically, you're talking about two factions when it's really four factions.
Democratic senators filibustered the bill for 75 days until Republicans mustered the few extra votes needed to break the logjam. And when all of their efforts to enslave blacks, keep them enslaved, and then keep them from voting had failed, the Democrats came up with a new strategy. If black people are going to vote, they might as well vote for Democrats.
That's a terrible strategy. Yes, we couldn't keep them enslaved on our plantations. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take them and we're going to make sure that they're beholden to our party. Oh, our ancestors will be proud. Take that fucking dick out. Take that white dick out of your ass.
As President Lyndon Johnson was purported to have said about the Civil Rights Act, I'll have them voting Democrat for 200 years.
This is an unsubstantiated quote. It was made long after he was out of office and long after he was dead. About 20 years after he died, this quote surfaced. There is no physical evidence that he actually said this. There's physical evidence that Ronald Reagan said some racist shit about the African delegates when he was calling Richard Nixon. There's evidence of that, but there's no evidence. There's no audio tape. There's no witnesses. Nothing. There is nothing about this quote. Stop using it.
So now, the Democratic Party prospers on the votes of the very people it has spent much of its history oppressing.
Also, shit, the C button. Also, Lyndon B. Johnson, he fought for the Civil Rights Act so hard. Why would he say that?
It's falsely claimed that the Republican Party is the villain, when in reality, it's the failed policies of the Democratic Party that have kept blacks down. Massive government welfare has decimated the black family.
Also, can we talk about the fact that this is a 5-minute video and only here at the 5-minute mark, only at the 5-minute mark is the anyway,
addition to school choice has kept them trapped in failing schools. Politically correct policing has left black neighborhoods defenseless against violent crime. So,
okay, let's go over these points. Massive government welfare. It's because there's still systemic oppression. These oppositions to school choice. It's not opposition to school choice. It's actually the fact that white people fled a lot of these neighborhoods. It's called white flight, and it's a real thing. A lot of white people from the suburbs left when black people started moving into the suburbs, or just areas near the city. Once they started moving in, they moved out to get into better and more white neighborhoods.
In failing schools, defenseless against.
I know there's no politically correct policing. Black men are just as likely to be shot, whatever.
Crime. So when you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party should come to mind?
Democrats, Republicans. You're predicating on false equivalencies. You're dumb. You're dumb. You should not be a professor. You're literally so... God, you're so fucking dumb. It's annoying that you have to use the history of the Democratic Party to say that they're racist currently, but you didn't provide an actual example. None of those things that you said about the welfare or any of those other things, that doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm Carol Swain, Professor of Political Science and Law at Vanderbilt University for Prager University. Thanks for watching.
Shut
to
up.
keep our vi-
Shut up. Dying a hole. All right. This is, I'm done. I know I said 3 to 4, but also, shit, this is not right. Alright, well, whatever. I'm done for the day, guys. Thank you all for watching. And be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, slap like, comment, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But stay vigilant and always bash the